What's up, guys? Turkey here, back again with another episode of Draft to Glory Maritimes Edition. Another episode to the shore to blow your balls off. We are ready for another interesting off-season, all things considered. Made the playoffs 2 years ago, nearly made the playoffs this past season. We go through what was a pretty mad draft, but we could be in line for a little bit more player development here. Of course, we start things off. Elliot Cousineau is the man between the pipes. We'll see what happens with Geet. Old Nicky Rue, of course, coming back, no doubt about that. The rest can stay unsigned for obvious reasons. Defensively, Plandowski will probably be brought back. We have 4 with him. Ooh, oh boy. I mean, we don't really have any high-stake players that we have to sign. And we really don't have that many defensive prospects to begin with, so I guess everybody stays if they want to. Of course, we had a couple of guys leave a few seasons ago that I would have liked to have kept around for the AHL, but hey, they elected to leave. They didn't want to stay, and I'm sure they're rotting away on the free agent list. Forward-wise, though, as you can tell, there's a lot of money that's about to be spent. Zach LaRue is about to get nearly $13 million a season. And Cole Huckins as well. About 4.5, pretty handsomely paid. Aiden Hannon, who could be in line for a good role this season, an improved role beyond that second line. Got to re-sign him as well. Pascal Duchesne, Justin Gill will look to hold on to. Obviously, the group of forwards, it's a lot healthier of a situation as compared to the forwards. I can't believe DeMay is looking for $3 million. Marquardt really let me down last season. No real improvement there. Was able to put up points, but it's clear he's not the guy to put in the top 6, or especially on the top line, despite that +5, for the sake of trying to get him going offensively. You could argue, what would he be if he had power play time? I don't necessarily disagree with that. Maybe he would be that much better and worth keeping around, but hey, it is what it is. So let's see what we have here. I don't know if anybody rejected. If they did, it was a top player. Okay, so Gill rejected. Old Gill, I mean, we still have $42 million. I'll look to give him a little bit of a pay raise. Jean Savard also needs to be re-signed. So from there, we do need to look at some of these guys that need to be potentially signed. Really, I mean, it's just Holden, Shore, Takashi, and Oliver. As far as I know, that won't put us below any contract limits, so we'll look to bring them back. I mean, most of these guys certainly aren't going to be hanging around long term. They might be worth keeping on the AHL team, an AHL team that made the playoffs, by the way, but they might be worth keeping around. We shall see. Everybody has re-signed from the looks of it. We're good to go. Perfect. Let's go to the beginning of free agency. Can't shake off that cough. That's okay. We are going to have to read to the staff a little bit here. I do believe 69% locker room chemistry. You'll love to see it, as we have 49 contracts, $41 million in open space. That Korpikari goaltender is available. Obviously, we're not going to go for him. Let's give Big Save Dave a boatload of cash. A boatload of cash to try and get us away from the floor. I was going to say league min, which isn't the right term. So really, I mean, you could debate who the better coach is to have right now. Menard showing up as a 52, which, tough to say if he's better than that or not. Obviously the big issue that we have is, Armsden though. Obviously the big issue that we have is knowing that the scheme fit isn't a perfect science for us because we have so many guys who aren't guaranteed to start in the NHL, so we won't factor them in the offseason like this. And as a result, we don't get to know exactly what the scheme fit's going to be. So my strategy here is to just go out and get the best coach we can. I am going to sign Chris Armsden to an assistant role. We'll look for a goalie coach afterwards, unless there's an unreal goalie coach here, but I'm going to try to offer him the max deal. Just get the best coach we possibly can and see if he can boost up the skill level of the team that much more. Might not have the best scheme fits, but again, the boost that we would get from having someone the caliber of Chris Armsden could not be overlooked, or overstated that as well. So we'll see. how this goes down, again, offering the max deal to try to get our odds as high as possible to actually sign him. It just takes 6.5 goddamn years. Why is there not a better way? Let me change the individual numbers. Let me just offer the max contract immediately. Something. Anything. God help me. Please. I'm floundering. Oh, boy. Boy. Okay, we're almost there. 9.9999. There we go. Yes. All right. So hopefully, pray to God he accepts that. I actually need to go back and double check the scouts here. All A coaches at the very least. And we will look. I think we just let go of some of these guys and gals perhaps. But we'll just look to sign these for Paisley Hextall. Paisley is in the name pool, huh? I don't think I've ever seen a staff member by the name of Paisley, but fair enough. So here we go. Armsden rejects. Balls. Remember, there you go. My balls just got blown off because that sucks. It was a low blow and a half. Okay, well, there goes that plan. I mean, we do still have a good coach. You know, a really good coach. We just don't know in terms of scheme fit how well it's going to work. So let's try to, number one, see if there is a better goalie coach in terms of grade. Is a C-. So what we're going to do is bump up Sauve here to NHL goalie coach. We'll bump down, it was an A-, I think, in general, wasn't it? You know what I'm going to do, actually, is I'm going to bump this guy down to assistant. Let's bump Sawyer up to associate. You can be the head coach. I need a goalie coach and an assistant. We'll send one offer out. If they don't accept, then this team gets no assistant coach this year. It's pretty much how it works. But Sally, good old Sally Lindgren. You get to be our AHL goalie coach if you want to be. And that new associate coach, I hope, will be Joshua Simpson, but he is highly recruited, we'll say. 2 offers out there, Carolina and the New York Islanders. So we'll see if he accepts that. If not, it is what it is. Eat pant, don't really care. Because we are good to sim to the beginning of next season. I hope I'm not under the floor. Salary? Are you kidding me, Sally? All right, well, okay. Well, I need to have a goalie coach, for God's sakes, especially because there's a good chance we're going to have a top-notch prospect. The challenges of the team. There is no greater challenge, Sally, than Draft to Glory. Camilla knows. Camilla's going to sign with us, rightfully so. She's going to do a hell of a lot better job than you ever could, Sally. God damn it, Sally. Ridiculous, Sally. Anyway. I might try to send out another goalie offer, just in case. Is it going to show us at 50? It is. Let's hope we have an exempt contract, because I would really like to send Oscar Dansk a boatload of money as to make sure that we are not underneath the floor, which we might be. There you go, Camilla. Let's go. And Oscar Dansk signed. Perfect. So we are good to go. Let's go ahead and get to the beginning of a new season, 2030, 2031. Woo-hoo. We'll see how this goes. I am hopeful that by the end of this episode, we are celebrating the fact that we have put ourselves into a playoff situation. Let's see what the squad looks like. We'll start off, of course, with the goaltenders, Cousineau and Geet. And to be honest, we are missing Nick Ruscia because it auto-cut him. Okay, it really shouldn't have allowed me to do that if it was going to auto-cut Ruscia. Are you kidding me? Okay, well, I'm not losing Nicky Rue. That's not going to happen. So what we're going to do is go to our goalies. We are going to go, I hate to say it, but we're going to go to Turgeon. And I will sacrifice Turgeon to get one Nicky Rue back. We're going to have to swap 7th round picks with a team to do it. But I will gladly do it. So, Turgeon, you have fun in Anaheim, because this game is a pain in my ass. And we are going to find Mr. Ruscia one way or another. I don't care how far down we have to scroll. He was like a 71 right about now. But yeah, we're going to find him. You know, sorting alphabetically might have been the way to go. But at this point, I'm afraid to change direction. We could have done a player search too, but that's not going to happen now. Where is my boy? Is he not even going to show up for me? Am I going to be glitched? Did we just get screwed out of a chance? Am I ending this series today? Did we just get screwed out of having the greatest channel legend of our time on this roster because I had to make sure we fit underneath the floor? Yep, he's me up, hold on. Hey! Pin to watch list. I literally, yeah, he's there, but not there. Okay, so we might be without Nick Ruscia this season, which sucks. Yeah, he just doesn't show up. Okay, great. Because he was going to be my backup goalie so that Geet could get a full season in the AHL. God, this game sometimes. God damn this game sometimes. It's going to have to be... I mean, unless I throw Penner to the Wolves, which, to be honest, I'm probably going to. You know what? I'm not. So what we're going to do is call up Rich and Dansk, and we are going to turn off auto-rotate, and Kusno is going to get all 82 games. And Geet and Penner will get the AHL games, as insane as that is. Defensively, we have Laflamme, Belmar, Bates, Sauve. Camachi jumped up to a 76. We also have Pierre Leroy. There is that debate of Leroy and Deschamps and whether or not we throw them to the Wolves this season. Which, to be honest, sounds like a pretty good idea to me. We're going to go for it, and hopefully that's the core that leads this team into the future. And of course, LaRue, Huckins, Boucher, Lapierre, Corazzini's looking damn good. Hannon, Duchesne, Gill, DeMay, Marquardt, Loshing, Robida. Do we have anybody who's better? Cairns, Lalonde. There's nobody with like a crazy potential that I'm worried about. So it comes down to which of the 74s do I keep on roster? And I'm not sure which. Neither is going to be able to really... Oh, Robida could get better. I think it's going to have to be Jean Robida. Just because he has probably that best chance to improve. Although Lalonde, you know, at a low 6. Let's go for Lalonde. And we'll see what he can do. And hopefully he can end up improving. So for the moment, we go best lines. And let's see what we're dealing with here. I want the oldest players, the ones who do not have a good chance of developing, to be on those lower lines. Although we might just have to go for pure line chemistry. But that gets Justin Gill into a situation I don't want him to be in. And it drops Aiden Hannon into a pretty poor situation as well. So a lot of different ways we could go about setting up this team. I mean, there's no doubt that Corazzini has to be in a pretty good spot. And I do like that +3. We could keep it with Hannon. There we go. I think that's the team right there. I think that's a winner. Boucher, LaRue, Hannon, Huckins, Corazzini, Lapierre. I think Huckins will probably be the center, and he will be. I mean, every single line here so far has at least a +1. And it looks like there's no real way to lose that. Yeah, so that's perfect. Absolutely works for me. We'll have Marquardt as a center there, and then, 56 face-off, so he'll be there. That's the team. That's the team, and a really good chance here for Hannon to take a step up and develop. If he can't do it this season, it goes to Corazzini. You could say right now it's better to go with Corazzini, and you know what? Yeah. Boucher, though, I don't think Boucher is going to get any better. But we'd lose the positive. We would lose the +3, but I don't really think it matters, does it? How much does that matter? Do I give Aiden Hannon one hell of a chance to develop, knowing that Corazzini's still probably going to get better? Ooh, that is a tough call. That is a real tough call, but I don't think Boucher is going to get any better, but we know we can put up goals. I gotta risk it. I gotta risk it. So Corazzini, LaRue, Hannon is now the combo. Boucher will be with Huckins and Lapierre, which, to be honest, is a really good second line. This is kind of the Malkin line. Like, I'm calling Malkin, Huckins my Malkin and LaRue's my Crosby. Like, I know, I got to play the younger guys who might be able to be boosted up by LaRue with him and play Huckins with the other guys who would essentially be our top line. I like that. Then defensively, oh boy. Okay, so the problem here is that they're both offensive defensemen. We have 4 OFDs on this team. That is a big-time problem. A big-time problem. Because it means we really need to break them up. Maybe not, just a simple swap of Belmar seems to do it. So we'll go Belmar and Leroy, which isn't perfect, but it'll do. Deschamps can be with Bates. And Deschamps has the better shot. And then Sauve can be with Laflemme. Unless there's a better option, we could have Bates up on that top line. Yeah, let's do that. Let's put Bates with Laflemme. That works. That works for me. I think we're good. And again, Cousineau, because of that very unfortunate glitch that just cost us a season of Nicky Roux's career, Cousineau is going to get all 82 games this season just to try and brute force his way into a higher overall. And then here, anybody who's an overager like Rycroft, that isn't going to get any better. Not that I think Traverse or Friggin will improve at all. But yeah, man, Charlie DeRoche is 28 already. That's how far into the series we happen to be. And then forward-wise, Brady Burns is the guy to take out if there's someone to get into the lineup. And there is. Let's get Shore in there. Again, we'll go with the youth. It actually has a chance of developing. I don't really care if someone's in their proper role here. It's just ice time, ice time, ice time. 24 is a stretch. 26, Sam Oliver is definitely going to be out. Let's get Duchesne in there as well. This team's going to be a bit of a mess. I hate to say it, but Jean Savard is probably actually going to be taking a seat. Vidasek is 26. Burns. Takashi at 23. Put him in. And then Mario Dandino will also be out for Orr. Sorting by potential, I suppose, or by overall? Let's go by potential at this stage. So low top 9, I'd consider less than medium bottom 6, if I'm being honest. I really do hate that potential. There's a low bottom 6, for God's sakes, so that kind of shows you where we're at. Well, hold on. Low bottom 6, medium, medium. Okay, we got multiple medium bottom 6s as well. Let's go with... Now, Para will be on a higher line. That is the top line, no doubt. Or with Dren, Delorier, and Rayom. That's the top line. Not great. This team probably could be a playoff team, by the way, if we were to give them an honest shot. Holden's going to have to be with Para and Robida. No real choice there. And then we have to break up this line here. And it'll be with Bochenski, who gets the better of the options. So that is the AHL team for this season. Again, not ideal. We're certainly going for more of a, just a last-ditch effort at trying to get some of these players to develop, but it's the best that we can do right now. Let's double-check the queue here in terms of the total amount of scouts, and then we'll actually scout the queue and see if we have anybody available to us. Obviously, we're at the stage where I'm fully expecting us to have a top 5, top 10 pick where there's no possible way for me to get them. It just seems like something that would happen to us in terms of our luck in a series like this. But, I mean, hey, you never know. You never know. First round, we've done quite well for ourselves lately. We've had a pretty good run of form, especially first 5 seasons or so of this series. It really was dire straits, and there was serious deliberation over whether or not to up the draft class quality. Of course, we never did. We kept it on medium. And actually, I should check the record book really quickly here, too, because I believe they fixed it. If I'm not mistaken, I went right past auto-rotate. For someone who plays as much franchise mode as I do, you'd think I wouldn't get lost in the menus sometimes, but I absolutely do. Auto-rotate is going to be off. And yeah, really quickly, let's see if the record book is still completely broken. Let's check for the Growlers here. What do we got? So LaRue's leading in points, which isn't surprising. Huckins, of course, has games played, penalty minutes. Kusno has the most wins. I mean, LaRue, 471 points all time, of course. What about in a single season? So Kusno with 2 shutouts, 32 goals, Guy Boucher last season, and of course LaRue set the point record. So bumping Boucher off of that top line is a real dangerous game. But I think it's worth it. At the very least, Nicky Rue will always be in the record book for us. And really quickly, yeah, so see, that's still glitched. So if you started franchise mode, even after the patch, it's still glitched. So Jordan Biddington has apparently played, or tied for the most games all time, because of course. So with that, let's look at the draft class. We'll get that season sim in. Time will tell if we're going to make the playoffs. So in the queue, we have the Sherbrooke Phoenix, Mario Debian. Now the thing that stands out to me here, of course, isn't just like, oh, well, you know, here's a guy that's not available to us. Like, no, the thing that stands out to me here, obviously, and I'm trying to build up to it, we have 3 guys who are projected in the first 10 picks here, the first 7 picks, really, which is ridiculous. But again, Debian's not available to us. Stéphane Gauthier-Leduc is also not available to us. What about Guy Delisle? So all 3 of them not available to us. That sounds about right. What about Louis Gamache? He is not available. 2 other players in the first round. We have César Levesque, not available. And Sylvain Lachance, not available. Good, good. None of those 6 players are available to us in the first round. So we have Aaron Sim and César Denis Pepin, who I hope is available to us, because that is a fun name to say. Let me tell you. So yeah, here we go. We'll see what happens this season. Eyes on the prize, that being making the postseason for the second time in 3 seasons. The draft is likely to be more of a supplemental kind of thing for us, where it's like, oh, okay, that could cheer us up if we lose. 81, 77, and a 71 for the attributes this season, the overalls this season. Not looking too bad, all things considered. And we'll see what happens here in the season sim. Let's do it. Will the Growlers make their way back into the postseason? Let's find out. Not really going to judge too much off of the opening month or 2 of the season, because it's just not enough time to really, get a proper understanding for how good or bad this team's going to be. We've seen good starts go up in flames, all things considered, but hey, you never know. It could be that proper indication of what we're about to see. That this could be a very, very special season. It could be. You never know. Possibly, maybe, hoping, please, God, let's make the playoffs again. That's all I'm saying. But unfortunately, it's not looking like that's going to happen. We are really struggling this season now. Yikes. Even if we were to change up the lines, I don't think it'd be enough. We are dead last in the Atlantic. I mean, Corazzini, the point total just isn't there. Hannon's doing very well in terms of a goal-scoring record. I think we're going to make that change, though. Boucher back to the top line. And we'll see how it goes. Bates isn't horrifically... Oh, my God. Oof. All right. Let's just march on. We'll march forward. This is going to be a rough season, though. It looks like, barring a miracle comeback, we're going to miss the playoffs in consecutive seasons. And that playoff appearance looks to have been a bit of a fluke. We've seen some regression from some key players. All in all, not really what we would have liked it to have been. We're heading into the deadline significantly under 500 at 21, 33, and 9. Growlers aren't going to make the playoffs this season. Convincingly so. Last year it was close. I thought we might take this step back that we're seeing right now in the prior season. We delayed it a year and crash back down to reality. Damn. 26, 45, and 11 for the Growlers. What could go down as the worst record in the East, if not one of the worst records in general. We were bottom 3 in the NHL. Goals for per game at a 2.96, which was, bottom 10, but not the worst. Goals against is where we struggled. The defense and goaltending just couldn't hold up this year, unfortunately. And again, the offense too really wasn't in the same spot. Hannon did well, scoring 30 goals. I'm hoping we see a good boost from him. Corazzini picked up 109 penalty minutes despite 84 discipline. Okay, sure. And LaPierre, 34 goals. Duchesne hit 20. Boucher hit 20. Huckins on 47 points. Really, I guess the point scoring wasn't that bad. Hugo was great in terms of offensive production. But yeah, Cousineau pulled 9 times. Only an .870 save percentage. Of course, goalies don't have a stamina or fatigue system, which you'd think they would, but they don't. And it's dumb because that used to be a thing back in the day where it's like, hey, you played the goalie 5 times in the last 5 games. Maybe give him a break. And then you say, no, I'm Carey Price. And then you play every game and your team doesn't make the playoffs because he's overplayed. Just a random shot at the Habs there. Don't mind me. Hugo top 5 in scoring amongst defensemen. But yeah, just not the season that we wanted. Joaquin Funk won the Rookie of the Year. Disappointing season for us, to say the least. Locker room chemistry plummeted by the end of the year. Nobody's happy being on a losing team unless you are the head coach of the New York Jets, in which case you're like a pig in shit being on a losing team, and it's exactly what you want. But yeah, there we go. The Winnipeg Jets. Speaking of the Jets, the Winnipeg Jets win the Stanley Cup. Not too shabby for them. Another Stanley Cup for a Canadian team in this series. Patrick Laine won the Hart. Dahlin won the Norris. Lefebvre won the Calder. Or I guess Lefebvre, whatever. Laine won the Conn Smythe as well. Shout out to Fragapani. No awards for us at any level, it would appear. And thus brings to a close a very, very forgettable season across the board for the Growlers. Good improvement for Corazzini. He's shown up as an 86, which is phenomenal. Bates up to an 81. He's now a legitimate top 4 defenseman. That's great. Pierre Leroy as well took big steps forward. So playing those two in the NHL this season really worked out. Didn't see much from Cousineau. Geet, a little bit of improvement there. And then in the system, Drouin Delorier took a decent step forward, as did Simon Leneveux, although he's a low 7th. Bochenski, so we saw some development. Hines ended up improving. He's a 71 now at 19 years old. Rayom, by the way, started off at a 54? That was 71 at 21 years old. Not too shabby. But all in all, like I said, very much a season to forget for us, unfortunately. But that does bring us to the draft, where we have a bunch of players that we can't pick. We fall to 5th in the lottery because, of course, we did. And yes, I'm going to cliffhanger you. And we are not going to go through the draft today. Why? Because I want this episode to be remembered as a meh episode. I want it to be remembered that way. Because that way, when we come back, hopefully tomorrow, and we sit here, we go through the draft, we sim another season, and at the end of it, we get to say that we're in the playoffs again. That is the hope. That is the dream. And let these boys remember what it feels like to be goddamn losers, because this season was terrible.